Good morning, boys and girls. How are you all doing today? Oh, I heard Imogen say daddy. Uh-oh. If you all know Imogen, I am her dad. So a lot of people here call me Dr. A. Anyhow, I'm excited to be here with you all this morning because about 18 years ago, I moved to South Florida. If you know anything about me, I love the outdoors. But being from up north, well, the outdoors down here is very different. So I had a lot to learn. And as I got to start exploring the great outdoors in South Florida, well, my wife and I had a couple of kids. Lowell being the oldest, and he's going to actually read the book for us today, and his brother Silas. You'll actually see both of them in the book as we're reading it this morning. Now, obviously, if you know me, and Emmy's my daughter. She has an older sister, Petra, too. So now I have to write a second book, because I got to include the girls in one of the books. So we'll have a second book coming. Anyhow, if you take a look at the title of the book, it's called Feral Toddlers, and essentially that means wild kids, because my family's a little bit wild. So wild kids or feral toddlers exploring South Florida's wilderness. And funny thing, back when I was starting to explore this crazy South Florida world, at that time I was also Miss Ensa's teacher, but that was a long time ago. Anyways, if we're ready to get started, Lowell is going to start reading the book for us, and while he's doing some reading, I might do a little bit of acting. We'll see how that goes. All right, Lowell, let's go ahead and take it away.
We used to live in a city called Doral.
Doral? Where's Doral? Do any of you know where Doral is? Is that where, how many of you live in Doral? Probably most of you. Okay, so you know where this story is started. Very cool.
Didn't live in a house, but in a condo. It's kind of like an apartment.
Okay, very cool.
Dad said he really missed having a garage. He used our living room instead. Mom did not like his pile of junk.
Junk? What do you mean junk?
We had her stuff in that pile too. We did not think it was junk.
I don't think it's junk.
I agree. Dad likes to take us to the small lake behind the condo. We brought our fishing stuff out of the living room. Rods and reels, nets and buckets.
What would I use that for? To catch fish? Actually, this is actually for catching bugs. Bugs is another name for a lobster. That's what we call lobsters. Good.
And I used it for iguana.
All right, go ahead, Lowell.
Hooks and lures.
Buckets, hooks, lures. That's a small hook, right?
No, that's a used hook.
All right.
We caught all sorts of things, from tadpoles to bullfrogs and minnows to fish.
Very cool.
And sometimes things got even more interesting.
More interesting?
Like the time we caught a huge soft shell turtle.
Like this big, this huge?
Bigger.
Bigger? How much bigger?
Like this big.
Oh, that was a big turtle. I remember that.
We caught it with a piece of hot dog.
Hot dog? They eat hot dogs too?
I guess they like them too.
I like hot dogs. I even ate those for dinner last night.
It sure is hard to get a hook out of a big turtle's mouth.
Yeah, that was hard. Trying to get the hook out of that turtle's mouth. Was the hook that big?
No.
No, it was a much smaller hook than the turtle. Okay.
We didn't catch all the animals we saw, like the visitors from the Everglades. But there was Swampy, a small 6-foot alligator. When a trapper came to take him away.
What happened to Swampy? I remember he was in our lake. What happened to Swampy?
A trapper took him away.
A trapper came to get him, and if I look at that picture,
That looks like Mr. Wells.
that is Mr. Welch. He used to be a teacher at BSA.
Throw the alligator at them.
Oh no, that would be scary. And what did you do with those alligators you caught?
We ate them.
I told you those Althoffs are crazy. They eat alligator. Keep going.
Mom got excited by a kingfisher that dove from the sky into the lake to catch fish for dinner.
There really are some beautiful birds here in South Florida.
Like the kingfisher.
Yeah, the kingfisher is really cool. They dive from the sky into the water and come out of the water with a fish in their mouth.
Dad always showed his love for the outdoors. I think our family agrees.
Let's go! Are you ready? Are you ready?
We escaped our city enclosure whenever we could, in the middle of rainy season or dry. Also, you can't go diving here. There's no pool.
What are you chasing in that picture?
That looks like a lizard.
Oh. What have you and your siblings been chasing and catching lately?
Iguanas.
Really big iguanas. They even scared me. Do you know what they did with those iguanas?
Ate them.
They ate them. Oh, but they tasted good.
Yeah, they're like small alligators. I know why you put that photo of me chasing a lizard in.
You know who taught me how to eat iguana? If you do chess, you might know Mr. Luna. He's an iguana hunter too. All right, let's keep going, Lowell.
That's a photo of me catching the lizard that bit my thumb.
Poor son.
When we were really lucky, we were able to interact in other South Florida ecosystems after loading up all our junk.
Quit calling it junk!
That's what the book says.
These are my toys!
I agree.
All right, load them up. Let's go.
Sometimes we visit the Dania Beach Pier or the Atlantic Ocean,
The Dania Beach Pier, that sounds like fun.
stopping by one of our favorite places on the way, the bait shop.
Oh, I think all my kids love visiting the bait shop. What kind of things do you buy at the bait shop?
Frozen squid and shrimp.
Squid and shrimp, really? What do you do with that?
We fish off that pier with our bait, never knowing what we'd catch.
What you're gonna catch? I remember one time, I caught an octopus. That was crazy. It came climbing up my line.
And another time, Mom
And
got
I didn't
bitten
know what
by
to do
one.
with it. What?
And another time, Mom got bitten by one.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
She said
Last
it
summer,
hurts.
Lowell's mom, she picked up an octopus and it actually bit her.
It still hurts.
Yeah, it still hurts. Was it this big, those octopus that we caught?
No, they were tiny.
No, they were tiny.
Some people even caught Spanish mackerel and the occasional black-tipped shark.
A black-tipped shark, this small?
A lot bigger.
A lot bigger, that's right. We also like to fish for black-tipped shark that are just about as tall as me.
The local pelicans we tried to eat our bait and catch.
A pelican? How many of you know what a pelican is? Are those small birds? They're almost as big as you, aren't they? And what do those pelicans do?
They would try to eat our bait and catch and even chase us for the lunch we brought.
They chase you? Get away, pelicans! Go!
Dad would try to scare them off.
Man, I had to scare them off.
Dad would make sure that whatever we caught, we would release it or take it home to eat.
I love fish and wild game, and we take it home and we cook it. We learn to eat everything we catch.
We have to respect the fish and animals that we caught. At night, we curl up with Dad to read the Florida Woods and Water magazine to discover new adventures that we could pursue.
Wood and Waters, well, I also like Florida Sportsman. And these magazines, they tell us all kinds of things and all kinds of ventures we can go participate in South Florida. Actually, all of Florida.
We explore fresh, salt, and brackish water.
Fresh water, salt water, brackish water. What is brackish water? Anybody ever hear that? Brackish water. Couple of you. What's brackish water? Brackish water is a mixture of fresh water and salt water. So it's got only a little bit of salt in it, not as much as the ocean. And in all those different types of water, you have different types of animals and different types of plants. So all these ecosystems that Lowell is going to read about have different types of animals.
There's cypress swamps, pine forests, grasslands, and sloughs.
A slough? That's like kind of like a swamp. And the last time I was in the slough with Lowell, do you remember what you caught?
Water moccasin.
He caught a water moccasin. That was a little scary. That's a type of snake.
We'd go hiking and camping, boating and diving, alligator and duck hunting, even airboating and gigging.
Gigging? What in the world is gigging? Imogen, what's gigging?
Frog hunting.
Frog hunting. Frog hunting? What do you do with frogs?
Eat them.
You eat them, man. Those Altoffs eat everything. And how do you catch a frog?
You gig them.
You gig them? Is this a gig?
Yup.
How do you use this to catch a frog?
Drive by them in the airboat and then you stab them.
So we're on the boat with a gig, and as we pass the gators, we get them.
Gators.
We get them as we go by them.
You said gators.
I just spoke. Keep going.
We also got iguanas with that.
Yeah, they use that for iguana hunting too.
We live in a special place. Not the condo, but South Florida.
South Florida is a pretty amazing place if you get the opportunity to go and explore.
I hope we get to share more of our adventures with you soon. In the meantime, you can learn about more fun things to do all over Florida at myfwc.com.
And MyFWC is the Florida Wildlife Commission. That's the state that runs programs to help you and support you if you want to go fishing or hunting or exploring in the great outdoors. I hope to see you there. Have an awesome day. Go ahead. All right, and if you're looking at these pictures, you see my family, right? These books, or this book includes some of my family. I got to write the book, and the picture next to me is Nina Poulos. She's the one that drew the awesome pictures, and in fact, she graduated from Divine Savior Academy. So it's pretty cool having her help with this book. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it? Awesome. Have a great day. All right, if you like the book, I think you guys have a flyer going home with you. You can actually go onto Amazon and you can get the book if you want to read it with your parents. All right?